Okay, for this question, the terms here are all more than or equal to 0, so it is not non-positive series. And you see that there is factorial here, and usually if there is factorial here, ratio test works. So we just directly try ratio test. So we consider L, which is limit n tends to infinity of n plus 1 over an, where an is just n factorial divided by n power n. So we have L is equal to limit n tends to infinity of n plus 1 factorial divided by n plus 1 power n plus 1 divided by n factorial over n power n, and this is equal to limit n tends to infinity of n plus 1 factorial divided by n factorial n plus 1 n power n divided by n plus 1 power n plus 1. This n plus 1 factorial, this just n plus 1 times n factorial. So if I take this divided by this, I will get n plus 1. And the n plus 1, I can cancel off with this, right? So I will get this equal to limit n tends to infinity of n power n, n power n divided by n plus 1 power n. So this is equal to limit n tends to infinity of n over n plus 1 power n. Okay, so actually this looks very similar to the definition of exponential function. Let me write it here. We have e to the power of x is equal to limit n tends to infinity of 1 plus x over n power n. Okay, this looks very similar because we can try to manipulate into in this form. So we have it is n plus 1 minus 1 over n plus 1 power n, and this is equal to limit n tends to infinity of 1 minus 1 over n plus 1 power n, right? But here we need n here and n here, but here they are not the same, but we can force it. Okay, we can force it to be the same by doing this. Okay, first of all, I want to make it into n, that is equal to, I make this substitution. I let, let's say m is equal to n plus 1. So I will have limit m, if n tends to infinity, m will tend to infinity. This will be 1 minus 1 over m power m minus 1. But to use this definition, I need this to be the same as this. So what we need to do, we can just split this, right? We can just split this into power minus 1. Very good. we know that this limit is just simply e to the power of minus 1, and this limit is just 1. So the limit of multiplication is the multiplication of limits if the limit exists, right? So we have this is equal to e to the power of minus 1. And e to the power of minus 1 is less than 1. Hence, by ratio test, the sum, what is the sum? N starts from 1 to infinity of n factorial over n power of n converges.